and welcome to yet another exciting edition of Economic Forum. I'm your host, Cynthia Jikaramba. It is good to have you along. In line with the 2007 call by the African Union heads of state and government for member states to allocate a certain percentage of their gross domestic product towards research and development, the government of Zimbabwe has revealed that it is channeling 1% of its gross domestic product, GDP, to science development and technology. To demonstrate its commitment to research as a cornerstone to development, the government, through the Research Council of Zimbabwe, RCZ, brings together research scientists in Zimbabwe and outside the country to exchange ideas on improving livelihoods. This year's symposium, held in Harare recently under the theme The Nexus Between Research and Industry, Key to Innovation and Sustainable Development. Over 100 research papers were presented during the symposia under research priority areas that included social sciences and humanities, sustainable environmental and resource management, promoting and maintaining good health and national security. The primary objectives of the symposia were to popularize research, development, and to provide a platform for the dissemination and documentation of researched material. The President, Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, graced the occasion. Speaking at the conference, the Zimbabwe International Research Symposium chairperson, Dr. Dalia Garwe, said Zimbabwe's vision to be a middle-income economy by 2030 can be achieved if the country prioritizes research and digital innovation.
The government recently announced a new national vision to be a middle-income economy with a per capita income of USD 3,500 by year 2030. A highly ambitious target, but one which is possible. And when we look at the theme for this particular symposium, which is the nexus between research, industry, and development, key for innovation and sustainable development, then you can see how it could be possible. The theme is relevant, and it also takes cognizance of the multifaceted socio-economic challenges currently bedeviling our society in Zimbabwe, but also beyond our borders. The theme resonates well with the modernization and industrialization of Zimbabwe, espoused in our national science, technology, and innovation policies. Ladies and gentlemen, for several decades, many governments, including ours, have given high priority to research and development. And very recently, our President, His Excellency, Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa, also actually said to us that research and development would be allocated 1% of gross domestic product, something that we've been fighting for a long time. And honestly, something that we, as Research Council of Zimbabwe, are very proud of. And this it actually has resulted in action. As we speak, we have already received millions of dollars coming through from government along these lines. And I think this is something that we as Zimbabweans should be very proud of.
Research Council of Zimbabwe Executive Director, Mrs. Susan Muzite, said the symposia are platforms for identifying gaps and challenges faced by sectors in the development of targeted and evidence-based strategies.
The symposia series seek to showcase and give recognition for outstanding research. We also celebrate research excellence. We believe that research is a long journey, sometimes trying, but when results come and they are recognized to be of more value than others, it is cause for celebration. The symposium also seeks to put on display the latest scientific research results, providing networking platform and providing opportunities for creating smart partnerships. The symposium also provides a platform for nurturing relationships between industry and academia, for national socio-economic growth and also for shaping the national research agenda. This is not an easy nexus because the scientist operates at the boundaries of knowledge. The innovator has to come to that boundary with appreciation, but also with an eye for opportunity in order to create goods and services.
Representing the Zimbabwe Energy Regulatory Authority, ZERA, Engineer Tanda Chisi spoke on the importance of integrating renewable energy into existing systems to improve reliability in the generation, transmission, and distribution of power.
Let's get a view about what Zimbabwe is like in terms of the energy sector. We are largely a biomass consumer of energy. Basically, the firewood that our mothers and our sisters and our brothers use in the rural areas constituted by far the largest percentage of energy that is used in Zimbabwe. The next largest component of energy that is used in Zimbabwe is petrol. Electricity comes at a fairly almost poor third, and coal, which comes from Hwange and of which we have huge amounts in the country, is actually one of the last ones. This energy mix tells us one story: we are underdeveloped. ZERA supports research, basically because we believe that ultimately people should be able to have secure energy supplies. We are particularly interested in ensuring that there is energy efficiency. People use the little energy that we have. We consider all particular entrants into the energy sector with respect, and the licensing process that we go through is, in our view, intended to ensure that anyone who wants to invest in the energy sector, who wants to make energy available to people, gets the appropriate instruments to do so effectively. Ultimately, we believe, as the regulatory authority, that access to energy is everyone's business.
We take a short break. Join us in the second segment for more. Hello and welcome to yet another exciting edition of Economic Forum. We are bringing you highlights of the Research Council of Zimbabwe 12th International Research Symposium held in Harare recently under the theme The Nexus Between Research and Industry, Key to Innovation and Sustainable Development. In his presentation about the role of intellectual property in national innovation systems, a patent expert, Mr. Nkomo, said everyone can be a creator of intellectual property.
Public research institutions play a key role through their contribution to the production and diffusion of knowledge. And I want us to understand right from the beginning that what we're calling knowledge is in fact assets that have a commercial value, but which, like the previous speaker indicated, ordinarily ends up in archived journals and in theses and other research documents. But patenting and licensing such inventions can actually be used as instruments for accelerating knowledge transfer, fueling greater cross-fertilization between faculty and industry, which is what our theme speaks about, which leads to entrepreneurship, innovation, and broad economic growth. So if public research institutions are to play their part in the attainment of Vision 2030, and I believe they should, they invariably need to embrace intellectual property as a key strategy. We can't honestly be living in an energy poverty environment. But it also includes industrial designs, trademarks, service marks, commercial names, designations, protection against unfair competition, and all other rights resulting from intellectual activity in the industrial, scientific, literary, or artistic fields. So all of us should by now realize that we are creators of intellectual property.
International guest speaker Mr. Amir Bhatt gave hints that may propel innovators to succeed with their ventures.
There are differences between the mindset of an academic and an entrepreneur, but there are also strong similarities, one of which is intuition. As you do your academic research, you use your intuition to help guide you towards something which you feel is either the new discovery or the right way of improving something, and then you use all kinds of methods to validate and improve on even your hypotheses that you may have. Okay? Sterling Moss was a British racing driver, and if you look at the car that he's actually sitting in there, it tells you this was a long time ago when cars were not the safe cars as they are today. But he had the same kind of processing he had to do as I did in my current modern-day Formula One car, which, I mean, those are, you know, feats of engineering. The feat of engineering in those days was you bounced around the corner when you went at speed. You felt every bump in the road. And so it was a hell of a lot more dangerous and a hell of a lot more processing that you had to do. And he stayed at the top of his game for many, many years, much longer than current racing driver champions do today. And he was, you know, he was the thing. Then he had an accident, and he suffered a little bit of brain injury, but he recovered eventually. And after about a year and a half, he went back into the racing car, and he came second. And he never raced again. And he says he didn't race again because he was ashamed he came second and he didn't win. But because he said he noticed how hard it was now, following his brain injury, was to concentrate and focus and process all of that kind of data being thrown at him. And he said, it will just be a matter of time till I kill someone. So he never raced again. This is how important intuition is, that it is your brain processing all the data which gives you the confidence to succeed. So that's the story here. Every single business that I have been involved in, which has been successful, without exception, and other people will say that to you as well, is because almost from the beginning, you are able to visualize the entire picture of what needs to happen and where it needs to go and how this thing will move and who you're going to talk to. And what you're doing is you're just making that visualization that you've got from the beginning come true. Every single business, without exception, that I have been worked in which has flopped is because almost from the get-go, I have failed to achieve that visualization for a number of reasons. Self-doubt, unclear about the market position, not having informed myself of my value proposition, and so on and so on. So it's imperative that you get to the point where you can visualize the entire thing. You don't have to be, as the founder and the CEO of a business, you don't have to be the one who knows how to do everything. You just have to know how to work through people who know how to do everything.
Dr. Michael James Tumbare, who chairs the Research Council of Zimbabwe Board, said developments in science and technology are fundamental as they increase the reliability of certain innovations and discoveries. He said there is no success without hard work.
In an effort to give local scientists a platform to present their research findings, share experiences with fellow professionals and policymakers, and promote the uptake of research findings by industry, entrepreneurs, and all our users, other users, the Research Council of Zimbabwe holds biannual international symposium. This is in line with the Research Council's mandate, is espoused by the Research Act, and this vision, which is to be the pivotal leader steering demand-driven research for wealth creation and the sustainable development of Zimbabwe by 2030. To achieve this, there is need to bridge the gap between research and industry. Industry is a key player of the National Science, Technology and Innovation System. Its role is acquisition of new knowledge from researchers required for innovation. Distinguished delegates and invited guests, research and innovation call for hard work on everyone's part. I am confident that hard work went into the papers that were presented at this 12th symposium. There were 100 papers all in all that were presented. In this journey, we are together because the scope of the Research Council activities will continue to grow as the desire for economic development is taken to the stage of tangible results. Efforts in developing value-added products based on the nation's raw materials, creating jobs, and improving the livelihoods of Zimbabwe's communities at all levels can be achieved by transformation of demand-driven research into goods and services. Your Excellency, I am pleased to inform you that we are beginning to reap the benefits from hosting this symposium. The Research Council of Zimbabwe also continues to perform its statutory obligation of registering foreign researchers conducting research in Zimbabwe. I appreciate the support by government of Zimbabwe, our sponsors and partners in making this event a success.
We take another short break. Join us in the third and final segment of Economic Forum for more. This is the third and final segment of Economic Forum. We are sharing with you highlights of deliberations of the Research Council of Zimbabwe 12th International Research Symposia held in Harare recently. In attendance were policymakers, captains of industry and commerce, entrepreneurs, NGOs, funders of research, media practitioners, and students. The main objective of the symposia was to showcase latest scientific research results, networking, and creating smart partnerships. The Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Honorable Monica Muchangwa, said with the mantra Zimbabwe is open for business, through research, Zimbabwe can attain its vision of becoming a middle-income country by 2030.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event, as you have heard, is about the nexus between research and industry, key to innovation and development. Indeed, this resonates well with the aspirations of the Second Republic. That is of modernization and industrialization of Zimbabwe. The purpose of this symposium is to make the national research, science, innovation, and entrepreneurship ecosystems work for the realization of Vision 2030. I'm informed the symposium has attracted researchers, young and seasoned scientists, exhibitors, entrepreneurs, industrialists, and government officials. Your attendance is testimony to your desire to work towards achieving the desired objective of Zimbabwe attaining middle-income status by 2030. Research, innovation, and entrepreneurship is epitomized by the national mantra, Zimbabwe is open for business. Business thrives within research, innovation, and entrepreneur environment. In the 2019 budget, allocation for research and development amounts to 0.3% of the entire budget.
Speaking at the symposium, the President, Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, pledged to continue supporting the Research Council of Zimbabwe to ensure it remains more robust in the coordination, promotion, and supervision of research in the country.
research, which is one of the key components to the socio-economic development of the Second Republic of our country. As such, my government applauds this gathering, which brings together stakeholders in the policy, research, innovation, entrepreneurship, and industry sectors of Zimbabwe and beyond to discuss, share, and explore aspects around research. The National Research Agenda, among other issues, is why we are here. The nexus between research and every facet of human development, as well as the importance of research to the continued growth and development of our country, cannot be overemphasized. Research is at the very heart of our decision-making process. The decisions for the direction of a nation cannot be made in a vacuum, and government needs scientific research finding embedded in all spheres of our economy. My administration remains committed to invest in research and development through the allocation of at least 1% of GDP towards research. The current 0.3% allocation in the 2019 budget must be seen as a first step which will improve incrementally as we go forward. Allow me to reiterate my government's determination to accelerate the modernization and industrialization agenda within our economy with the requisite focus on market-driven policies. Due to the centrality of the agriculture sector to the economy, we challenge increased research into seed varieties, crop and animal disease management, as well as climate change mitigation strategies. Equally important, however, is to continuously explore avenues on how we can improve our agricultural yields. In view of the unfolding provincial economies, which we are promoting under my administration, and anticipated rural industry system, it is integral for research initiatives which addresses these emerging realities in our country. Furthermore, research, innovation, and inventions must be aimed at benefiting the ordinary people throughout the country, whilst propelling our country's industrialization agenda. We must thus foster a culture of research and innovation at the national, provincial, district, and ward level. Research teams must be established to give gravitas to innovation and initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, I was extremely impressed as I went around the exhibitions by the young peoples from primary and secondary schools in the country, from all the provinces. The talent that our children have, we must support them. the area of health, water, sanitation, and other social service aspects affect the majority of our people on a daily basis. The present conditions in these spheres must be changed through groundbreaking and life-transforming research breakthroughs. I therefore call for the development of a research cadreship which is endeared to the ordinary people and also cares about those that live in rural areas and deprived communities. The national research agenda must recognize the present structure and the state of our economy and influence the future of every sector of the economy, be it in mining, agriculture, infrastructure development, tourism, manufacturing, services, and social service sectors. To accelerate this process, the importance of a wide spectrum of networks will be invaluable.
That was the President, His Excellency Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, expressing his government's support for research as key for national development. The clarion call by delegates and participants was very clear. For research to be meaningful, its findings should never be merely for academic purposes only, but for dissemination and utilization by end users such as policymakers, investors, industry, and entrepreneurs. This brings us to the end of this week's edition of Economic Forum. For your views and comments, do not hesitate to contact us on the details appearing on your screen. From me, Cynthia Jikaramba, and the crew behind the scenes, happy viewing.